to Just Between Us, a channel where I just show you all the different manicures I've had since I was 7 years old.
My mom made me wax my legs when I was in 5th grade.
Really?
Yeah, because I said I want to start shaving my legs, and she was like, well, I wax, I don't shave, so you'll have to come with me. And I was like, okay, and then I went.
So painful.
It was horrible.
So to welcome in this new year of 2025, we thought we would do a very brief and speedy retrospective
Jesus.
on what I personally would call the worst year of my entire life, 2024.
Yeah. It's up there for me.
I was like, should we just go through all the terrible things that happened? And I was like, no. We should divide it into our best decisions and our worst decisions.
Okay. To give us some sort of agency, because a lot of what went wrong was stuff
out of our control.
Right. Sure.
One of my worst decisions was I forgot to renew my car registration. And that cost me an extra $200 in late fees.
Oh, no. Here's the thing about being an adult, Allison. How are we supposed to keep track of all of this?
I've never forgotten before. I don't remember getting a renewal notice in the mail. I'm tossing that up to sort of to the grief storm. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying is like, why are we have to do certain things every single month or every single 6 months or every single year, regardless of how we're doing mentally or emotionally. And I find that to be unfair.
Yeah, we should get to have a big pause.
Yeah.
Well, so this leads me to one of my best decisions of 2024.
Okay.
Which was yesterday, which was the 31st. We're recording this on the 1st. You're seeing this on the 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
I decided, John declared that I was having a mental health day. And I wasn't allowed to work.
Yes.
And so I had planned to have a full work day, and because I'm writing my next rom-com, which is exciting, but it's still work, and just going to bed being like I have a full work day tomorrow versus going to bed being like I have a mental health day tomorrow, just is totally different. And so I really enjoyed yesterday, and I got to relax, and I got to read a lot.
Oh, good.
And, I love my reading. So that felt nice that I, let myself do that.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is leading me into my year of 2025, which is this year where I'm just going to be super nice to myself.
Yeah, I think so. I think as much as you can.
Yeah.
It's hard because going back to your first thing, it's hard because there's so much stuff that, has to happen. And I still feel like a little baby where I'm like, why? And things just pile up and you cannot predict what's going to happen or when or anything. So if you're like, oh, I'm just going to work really hard and then I'll relax on this day, that day could be the day of a tornado. You don't know. So you should have as many of those days as possible.
Tornado days?
No, yeah, tornado days. Well, in Florida we call them hurricane days. But yeah, something like that. Because if you save all this stuff, I don't know. It's like my uncle who worked really hard and then as soon as he retired, he died. So.
I know. I was just talking to someone who, the handyman who did stuff in our apartment the other day, he was saying that his dad died at 69, which is the year my mom died, or the age my mom died, but that everyone on one side of his family had died very young, and so he had retired early because he suspected he would as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what makes it hard. Wow, goodbye.
I would say a great decision you made was you got your day job.
Yeah, I did. And I do like it a lot.
You seem to love it.
Yeah, I do really like it. It is interesting. It is very interesting to have that perspective and also to interact with the general public in a way that is good and bad. I'm learning a lot of different types of people. I'm sort of learning also oh, he's back.
He had to get a chewy.
Oh, he got his little chew stick.
You got your chewy, Bubba. Come
That's
here.
That's very cute. Come here.
Come here. Oh yeah, go around. He's a smart guy. Good boy.
He just wanted to have his little chew stick with him. Sweetheart.
And that's a lesson that sometimes it's not what you think.
Yeah.
And it's even better than you expected.
Right. He just wanted a little snack for when he came back.
Yeah.
Good job, baby. That's really cute. See, he wasn't abandoning you. He was bringing a snack.
He was enhancing his own life while still deepening our bond.
Wow. I think a good decision that I made is like being choosier with dating, or being a little bit more like, okay, who, not rushing into something and being like, this person is perfect, but like who, I don't know, who, like, waiting to see if they are who they say they are.
Yeah.
In a way.
That's great.
Which they're not, it turns out. But so still sort of waiting on someone to be who they say they are. You know what I mean? That would be huge for me.
Well, you made the decision to prioritize yourself rather than like being in a relationship at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, I am worried that I'm getting like too used to being by myself, and that I'll like, if somebody like enters my life and they're like, hey, why do you do the dishwasher this way? I'll be like, you can fuck off. But I don't know. I go back and forth. Like, I used to be like, wow, it would be crazy not to have like a partner where we're just doing all this stuff together. Like, that's so wild. And now I'm like doing all this stuff by myself or relying on friends. And I'm like, not just a partner. And I'm like, yeah, this is fine. But like, you know, I want a partner, but just the idea of like, now I'm going to be two people and we're going to like Christmas at their parents' house seems crazy to me, even though like I did that for most of my life.
Well, that's remembering how adaptable we are, right? It's like we think that we're so stuck in the way that we are, but then it's like, not really. Like some people are very rigid, but for the most part, a lot of us can kind of just like become different versions and do things we didn't think we could do, and like you just like adjust to the new normal.
And prioritizing and relying on friends, like in a way where I think I always had a partner because I was so terrified that nobody would like me enough to do things for me if we weren't dating. And now I have like a group of friends where if they need something, I will go and do it. Not a group like that they all know each other, but like individual friends that if they need something, I will go and do it. If I need something, they will go then help. And so like for a while, you know, being like single, I felt really overwhelmed with taking care of Beans because I usually had a second pair of hands for him. I got him with James, and then, you know, I had Mal right after that, and so I always had like a second pair of hands with him. And I was like, well, I'm fucked now, and I went around being fucked for a little bit, and then like Melissa watched him, Leland picked him up from his dentist appointment, Ryan walks him, like, it's like, you're allowed to, like, my friend Manny picked him up from daycare, like, you're allowed to have people in your life do things for you that are just not your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you know? So that's nice. Because I was looking at this video the other day, and it was this woman that was like, I'm 40-something, I have no friends, because she doesn't have a partner. And she was like, I have no friends. And then all these people in the comments were like, I also have no friends. And I was like, oh, I'm lucky.
Well, yeah, it's so much as like, what is your day-to-day life? Does it give you the time and energy to create friends? And then also like realizing that you have to put time and energy into it even when you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like friendship is like the easiest thing to be like, oh, not now.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, obviously some people, they just, it's circumstances outside of their control, but you have to be really intentional with like creating and maintaining friendships.
Yeah. And even at my job, like being open to, like, this one girl that I'm like getting to be good friends with, I was like, oh, I'm closing tonight and I'm going to forget this. I know I'm going to forget this thing that I need to take home. And she was like, leaving earlier, her shift was over. And she was like, I'll text you when you're closing so you remember. And I was like, okay. Thinking like, no, she won't. 8 p.m. She was like, don't forget your bag. And I was like, oh my God.
That's
nice. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, damn, like, okay, you're reliable.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
I think one of the things, well, I don't know if this was a mistake, but one of the regrets I have is like, I've mentioned just like that, not recording my mom more and taking more photos of her and stuff, like when she was sick, and just like asking more questions. I mean, obviously it was like extenuating circumstances, because like we didn't want to act like she was dying until we knew for sure she was dying. And then by then she couldn't really talk, but like, I wish that like I had just been doing that anyway, even before we found out it was fatal.
Yeah, but how could you know?
Yeah, but that's just like that's just a thing that now like if now it's like get the stuff, whether or not it's worst case scenario, just act as though you know, like if someone were to get sick now and I didn't know what was going to happen, you cover your bases. Yeah, in a way. It's like,
I mean, I'm glad we have a lot of footage of her.
We don't have as much as I thought that we would.
There's some that I left out of the video that I found later when I was going through stuff. Like the video where we get 5,000 subscribers and you have to give me a kiss, and your parents, I forgot that they were on like FaceTime for that.
I thought you included that in the video.
I don't think that part is in the video, but I think I sent it to you after because I found it after I edited the video, being like, oh, here's another one. Very funny. So yeah, I could probably make a second video, honestly. But yeah, so I get that. That makes sense. I mean, it's hard. It's like, what was a decision we made and what was just a thing that happened? You know what I mean?
Totally.
I don't know. I took a bunch of like risks. I have no idea. This is what I was saying before we recorded. I have no idea if they were good or bad decisions. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know.
I think one of the best decisions I made was starting my coaching business.
Yes, hell yeah.
That was like a real scary thing for me, and like I love it, and I feel really happy I did it and proud of myself, and I love working with my clients, and so that was like a good signal of like sometimes when you push yourself, it pays off.
Yeah, I feel that way about the movie, which we're gonna start now pitching hard in 2025 because we have all the footage and everything.
Oh,
so.
Yay!
Yeah, and being flexible. I think the good decision was being flexible about it, and not. I mean, I did worry all the time, but being flexible about it and taking my time because my instinct is always to rush.
I heard on the New York Times Daily they did like a best advice or something of 2024, and some said something to the effect of like, if you focus on the bad, then you can't really move forward. But if you focus on the lessons learned, then you can like grow and be happy.
Oof.
And I think that's a really interesting way for me to approach 2025. I'm going to be focusing on the lessons learned. There were some tough ones.
Yeah, I was going to say. Anyway, this year sucked.
For example, pay your car registration on time.
Oh my God, how are we expected to do anything?
I feel like when I get like a manicure, when I went with like my grandma when I was like a kid, they were like, "Hey, be honest." And I was like,
yeah.
Some of the most upsetting moments of my life have happened at nail salons.